have really created this really beautiful atmosphere that represents family, that represents care, that is pushing the boundaries towards more compassion, more understanding, more awareness.
My motto is that sometimes it's good to disconnect from technology and reconnect with nature and environment.
When I get back home, I will try to encourage people not to hurt the environment, and I will especially try not to throw chewing gums away.
This project has inspired me to be more mindful of the nature around me instead of my Facebook notifications.
Environment is cool, environment is nice, so instead of meat, eat more rice.
Human beings are spending too much time taking care of things and not enough time taking care of people, of living beings. I realized that in order to create a sustainable society, individuals must make nurturing living beings their first priority.
When I go back to Sweden, I want to continue making movies and bring joy to the crowd, and how to bring awareness of discrimination and how to solve it.
When I'll go back to Moscow, I will try to tell people that discrimination is not normal and that we need to go against it.
When I go back to Moscow, I will write a petition to our president for increasing the pensions, because elderly people can't go to work and get very small pensions.
In my case, that would be my sexuality. So 3 years ago, I started to question it, and I wanted to get support from my family and my friends. But when I saw how people treat homosexuals, I backed off and I gave up, which led me to depression, self-issues, and even suicidal thoughts. I felt so alone, and like there was something very wrong with me, and that because of that I won't be able to have an amazing and beautiful life, that my sexuality defines me. But today I'm accepting who I am, and when I go back to my country I will encourage people to accept their differences and show them how to stand up for themselves.
Depression is like a hamster wheel. You run from it, but at the end it hits you again. I was diagnosed with clinical depression 2 years ago. The diagnosis was not helpful because now I knew that I could not escape the emptiness which I was held in. Right now I'm working on my documentary on this topic. I try to capture the emptiness and what it feels like to have depression, and I try to communicate these feelings to people. And I'm glad that my summit team was willing to do my idea on the PSA.
When I get back home to the United States, I would like to inspire not only students but adults as well, that they can find the solution for their depression and find the light.
Before the summit, I spent a full year being unable to get out of bed, and my depression has been with me for about 10 years. I know that I can rise above the nothingness, and that's exactly what I'm planning to do when I get back home to Sweden.
When I go back to Croatia, I will go to a new school where I want to show my PSA to inspire people to encourage and empower each other.
I feel very frustrated because young people are really disengaged in Sweden. So when I get back home, I'm going to try to encourage them to take action and make a change in the society.
When I come back in Bosnia and Herzegovina, I will continue to work on a team of youth empowerment, even more inspired and more skilled.
After Nepal was hit by a massive earthquake, we had no idea what to do next. After spending a few horrible weeks under an open sky, my friend and I made a decision not to remain quiet and afraid. Instead, we went to the affected areas and started helping people. We collected donations and emergency relief and distributed to the needy people. We built a few temporary schools and shelters. For the first time in my life, I have seen our youth united, working to help the people. This is what youth empowerment means to me.
When I go back to Sweden, I will fight for that people's value should not be measured in wealth or money.
When I come home, I'm going to continue my work with the homeless in the soup kitchen, and I want to be kinder, more generous, sharing my knowledge to the others, and I don't want to turn my head to people who need my help.
When I go back to Japan, I'll show our PSA to my family and friends and tell them to be rich is not important if it doesn't make you happy.
Poverty, my brothers, is a bite that's very hard to swallow. I decided to work in this issue group because poverty affects me the most. I used to work 16 hours only to earn 10 euros to attend my university. And that was very bad for me because I didn't have enough time for my family and my friends. So, after I return back to my home, I will use this knowledge of this summit in order to help poor students in order to attend their universities.
children in Afghanistan see violence in their normal life. They see violence in marketplaces, parks, and in the streets. Just like one day I saw two people fighting with each other for a silly reason. When I go back to Afghanistan, I will show this PSA to my friends, family, and classmates, and try to not to fight with other people for a silly reason.
Violence is present in everyday life, no matter gender, age, nationality, or social class. Open your eyes, do not be a simple observer. Act, help, report.
First step towards solving the problem with violence is to remove our blindfolds.
When I go back to Zagreb, of course I'm going to show my PSA to my family and friends, but important thing is I am going to watch it again so that it reminds me not to ignore violence.
I will stand for the women's rights and help them in any way possible.
When I come back home to Croatia, I will show our PSA to my debate club and I'll film one more movie about women's body in our society.
When I go back to Slovenia, I will screen the PSA we did to my class, my school, and will lead a workshop by the workshop guides we did.
I will show the PSA we did to expose gender issues, hoping people will understand women's struggles.
Personally, I'm a victim of constant catcalling in my neighborhood, and this has led me to partake in the issue of women's rights. A simple whistle and holler can make anybody feel like the scum of the earth. Nobody should be ridiculed for what they wear, nor should anybody feel like they should cover up when they go out in public. Going back home, I will try and change this perspective and teach everybody I know that anybody can wear as they please and should not ridicule others or be ridiculed for it.
you.